Way, that worked. Sweet, I'm getting many notifications. Hello. How is everybody doing? Weird to have daylight. I'm sure it'll go away, but hello. Hello, Chris, and hello, Ish. How you doing? By the way, my internet might drop out, so I apologize if it does. But it's been horrendously inconsistent for a little while now, and it's very annoying. Biggest viewer from India. Thank you. I used your humble link for a free game. Nice. I don't know if that pays me anything, but nice. Hello, Starman. How you doing? Hello, Dave. hmm. Yeah. How is everybody? It's now the link in my taskbar. Nice. Gonna add your Amazon OCK. Good man. So I've mostly been playing with myself. No. I've mostly been playing with streaming software. OCK isn't in the software. It's just TechteamGB.co.uk/OCUK. But yeah, so I've been playing with streaming software this week, specifically OBS Live, which is Stream Elements version. So Stream Elements, I think, was out first, and it's actually there's a message in the chat, but basically they're sponsoring a video about OBS Live, which is their OBS plugin. And then what I'm actually, ironically, what I'm doing is I'm actually doing the sponsor thing, and then I'm doing a unsponsored, as unbiased as I can, comparison between that and Streamlabs OBS, which is what I use personally, and what I'm currently using. Technically, I should probably remove the Stream Elements bot, because having two bots is probably too many. But yeah, I've also been playing with the thing that I put in the Moneymen Discord chat, which I technically can't talk about until next week, I think. Or is it? Yeah, next week. We've been playing with the new Oculus Quest. Nice one. How is it, man? Play the Gamer. My name is Paul. You're my favorite YouTuber. Well, thank you, Paul. Thank you very much. I hope you continue to enjoy the videos. Ish, playing with streaming software, what could go wrong? Quite a lot, actually, but surprisingly nothing so far. And I've managed to refrain from not accidentally going live. So yeah. Got myself a new PC, and it's a heat monster. One, nice one. Two, unlucky. It is quite warm right now. What spec did you go for? I should be needing some more PETG. In the near future, so the OCUK link will be used. Sweet. Oh, thank you, Ish. Thank you very much. Starman, nice. What's it actually like beyond it being superb? For anyone who isn't cool like Jura, thank you. I have a lot of affiliate links. I should probably make a page on the website that's just a big, massive list of affiliate links, because I have a lot of them. But yeah. Was looking at my mate's loft for a DisplayPort cable and ended up finding a boxed Oculus Rift and Touch bundle from 2017. How does that end up in one's loft boxed? Like, I appreciate that, not everyone necessarily has as many PCs as I do, and therefore they can't, or high enough spec PC, but like, why would you just leave it in a box? I wish you did look to see if you had it earlier. Alright, thank you. Easy to set up, great graphics, cable-free, complete freedom, brilliant. Nice one. So is it just a wireless Rift, or is it for mobile? Is it for Like, is it a standalone thing? I don't know all that much about it. Just add order and never used it, I guess. Okay, fair enough. Um, are you like, can you steal it, or is your mate gonna use it? Like, what's the deal? Dave, Ryzen 7 2600X, Crosshair 7 Hero, 32 gig of RAM, 2080, and a dark base 700. Nice. That's a good system, man. Nice one. Sell it for £100. Damn, that's a very good deal. Let's see if you can stay not poor enough to be able to afford that. You should visit India. I'd love to if there was, like, I had money. It was like 12 a.m. here. Oh, fair play. It's only 8 p.m. here, so not. That's actually not as big of a difference as I thought it was. Fair play. But yeah, Dave, that's a nice system. Enjoy. Sounds like a good one. What sort of storage config did you get with it? My brother set up his VR rig when we moved in 10 months ago, and he's used it for a total of an hour in that time. Oof, that's not enough. I haven't played my Vive all that much in the last week or two, but that's because I've been crazy crippled. My good friend's car broke in, had a really weird problem, actually. I don't think anyone in the chat is either old enough or cares enough about cars to have any suggestions, but it's a 2-liter diesel BMW 3 Series, and for whatever reason it would start and then it wouldn't rev above like 1,300 RPM. Didn't really, do anything. And you couldn't drive it at all. Then we turned it off, turned it on again, and it only revved to 1,000 RPM. And then we turned it off and on again, and then it turned itself on and then stalled, and now it won't start at all. We have literally taken everything but the entire engine apart, and we cannot work it out. We drained the fuel tank, we took the fuel injectors out, everything, and I don't know why. But anyway, so I've been working on that for the last week, almost every night. And apparently that working on cars makes me a very big cripple. So I've been in a lot of pain this week and a lot of opioid painkillers. New car? Me? No. It is a friend's car. And it doesn't work. I'm a tech and gaming YouTuber. Nice one. I saw you message for a collab. A live stream is not the best place to try and arrange that. Display panel OLED 1440 by 1600 per eye, 72 Hz refresh rate, and it's a standalone type device, I'm guessing, by the fact that it's a Snapdragon 835 and 4 GB of RAM. 2 to 3 hours of usage. Okay, so it's a standalone unit. It's kind of like a mobile device, but it's not. But it's not incredibly high spec. But I mean, fair play, fair play. Is it only Android type games that it can run on it? Can you connect it to a PC wirelessly? I'd be very interested to know. Speaking of mobile devices, once I get rid of the 4 million notifications, come on, stupid thing. There we go. I'm doing a phone review, which is quite rare. It is a gaming phone. Which is kind of why I accepted it, really. It's a Xiaomi Black Shark 2. And it's kind of nice, right? So the weird thing is that it's actually very heavy. It's a in-glass fingerprint reader, optical. slow, and not necessarily accurate. Apparently it doesn't like my thumb. Hold on. There we go. So you're looking at about a second, but the real thing that it has is a little slider here, and this happens, and then it's like a gaming desk top kind of thing. Where is it? And then there's like a launchpad thing. It's kind of interesting. It's £479, but it's a Snapdragon 855 liquid cooled, 8 gig of RAM, 128 gig storage, and it's like you have dual cameras at the back. It's one of the sort of as bezel-less as they can displays. So it's quite interesting. I'm yet to really formulate enough of an opinion about it to write a review, which is why I've been putting it off for the last couple of days. It does over there come with, or you can pay an extra £80 for a case that has the ability to slide on a couple of little controllers. They're kind of like Nintendo Switch Joy-Cons or whatever, but it lets you, game a bit easier. Liquid cool like heat pipes, yes, I'm pretty sure. Which probably explains why it's so goddamn heavy. I think it's about twice the weight of my OnePlus 3T. Running a lot of games in the Rift. Running a lot of games the Rift did at slightly lower graphics detail. Cannot connect it to a physical PC as the Rift would do. It's getting rave reviews. I'd like to see you review it. Nice. If I can get my hands on one, I definitely would. Yeah. Rip Huawei worldwide. That's kind of a big deal, actually. I don't really have anything to say beyond I hope that what's it called, Lineage OS gets their act together real quick for the people who already have Huawei phones. But yeah, that's a pretty big rip for their entire mobile division, and actually for a lot of their company, which is kind of crazy. Huawei locked the bootloader. Yes, I know, but there is always ways around locked bootloaders. Wes TI, I'm thinking of buying a SteelSeries Arctis 3. Apart from the RGB, are there any real difference between USB on the Arctis 5 and 3.5 connection on the Arctis 3? No, I don't think so. I can't remember what the difference between the Arctis 3 and the Arctis 5 are. But as far as I remember, no. So, yes. MD Nasir, what are reviews for upcoming 3rd gen Ryzen processors? Bit of a weirdly worded question. If you're asking, are there any reviews? Obviously there will be at some point. I don't have any samples. I'm not under NDA yet. I hope to get samples, and so I hope to have a review and or comparison or whatever else when the samples or when the CPUs launch, which I believe is somewhat soon. So yes, but if you're hoping for any pre-release information or something, you're out of luck there. What was the motivation of you to become a YouTuber? I started 7 and a bit years ago now. I started it with 2 friends. They left over time, and I turned it into a business. It's now my full-time job. It's a lot of fun because I get to play with cool tech and chat with all of you guys. IPC games are looking swell. I have heard many good things on the AMD side of things. So yes, indeed. Okay, thanks. Was just seeing if it was worth the extra. I like the RGB. I won't see it but I won't see it when it's on my head. Had Siberia V2s, so now slowly starting to wear away. Fair play. Yeah, I don't think that there was much of a difference. I can't remember because it's been quite a long time since I've looked. Oh. There was the Arctis Bluetooth. Yeah, so I don't think I've reviewed the standard Arctis 3. I've reviewed the Arctis 3 Bluetooth, but that's a different headset to the standard one. So bear that in mind. Yeah. Wasn't sure if the USB was any better connection for quality. Right. So it kind of depends on your motherboard actually, because the way that SteelSeries do like USB headphones is for the Arctis 5s anyway, it's all audio processing in the headset because it's USB. Or it was processing in the little controller box. Might have been that one actually. But if you have a generally decent DAC on your motherboard already, then you won't notice any difference between USB and like audio jack. MD Nasir, no, they don't. As long as the boards you have now get BIOS updates, no, they do not, which is pretty sweet. Duragamer for I want to know if it includes Honor. Yes, it does, because Honor is a wholly owned sub brand. I have Asus Z399 Gaming F. So that board doesn't exist. What CPU do you have? Z39C, right. Then yeah, it's probably pretty good. It's probably a Realtek ALC Gaming F892 or 1220. In fact, I can find out and tell you now. Spec. Hello, Gaming Fire. How you doing? Yeah, so it's a they call it an ROG Supreme Effects codec, but it's a Realtek ALC 1220A. So yeah, it's a pretty decent DAC. So yeah, Arctis 3 would be just fine. That one. Right. Ish, can you yeah. Remove a couple comments. Thank you very much, Ish. Very well worded. So yeah, what was I doing? Yes, the smart mirror video comes out tomorrow. I still haven't got around to putting it behind me, but it will go there at some point. And on Monday I've got an ASRock B450 motherboard review. They technically, or they couldn't tell me that it officially supports the new Gen Ryzen chips, but I'm pretty sure that it's already had a BIOS update to support the new Gen Ryzen chips. So I think you're pretty good. They're actually, the reason that I'm doing a review on it is because that's also the board that I'm doing 3 in-video ad spots for. So if you're a patron, you will get copies of those videos without the in-video ad spots and actually without any monetization on YouTube. But also you will get obviously other benefits for Patreon, but with the ad spots, they're only 30-second ad spots, and they're just for the motherboard itself. So yeah. Is it worth getting i5 9th Gen F version rather than K? Any suggestion? So I'm pretty sure the F versions are still locked, right? If so, then the K versions are normally slightly overclocked from the box or slightly higher clocked from the box, and they're unlocked if you're using a Z series board. So yeah. Thank you very much, Ish. Toph plays 2700/9900K enough for streaming at 1080p 60 FPS at medium presets? I should think so. Yes. So yeah, feel free to give it a shot. 2700 like Ryzen 2700, right? If that's the case, then yes, both should be fine. Technically speaking, 9900K will be quicker at 1080p, especially if you're gaming at 1080p as well. But either will do you rather well for that. So yeah. Telesto, hello, how you doing? Just saw your video on a Zotac 20 series card and saw you're live. Nice job. Thank you very much. Very kind. And hope you enjoyed the video as well. There are quite a few what do you call it? Videos for you to check out. Quite a lot actually. So yeah. Yes, Ryzen, thank you for that. Hopefully 3000 series isn't let down. From everything that I've heard and from sources that I can't tell you about and from things that I can't tell you, it's very good. I think you're going to be very excited to see the like final results of what comes out, because from what I have heard, and again, only rumors, it's very very interesting. Hello, Wapted. How you doing? How's things? Always watch the ads to support the YouTuber. Thank you very much. You can always go to the whole like Patreon thing if you want to like not watch the ads. So yeah, feel free. You know, you can feel happy knowing that you can turn on ad blocker if you prefer. But yeah, well, thank you very much. It is always helpful. Anyone who might like to buy a cheap system can check the Discord for sales by Jura. Very true. I almost forgot that there was a tech sales channel. Are 3rd gen Ryzen going to be boom for gaming, or is it focus on productivity? So as I understand it, because of the IPC or instruction per clock or single core improvements, it should be awesome for both. But specifically, we should have very good, especially like 1080p gaming numbers. And it's my understanding that quite a lot of people, like quite a lot of third parties, like motherboard vendors, already have. And I've actually had 3rd gen Ryzen samples for a little while now, and have been testing them and validating them to work rather well with a lot of stuff. So hopefully it will be very, very interesting. I know that MSI, I think it was a leaked video, but or a live stream, but they were showing off an X570 motherboard, one of the sort of high end ones. What's this? What is this? Subscribe, thank you. But they were showing off a high-end X570 board, which actually had a fan for the chipset heatsink, because apparently AMD's chipsets get quite hot. Who knows? But the what was I going to say? The chips should be very, very interesting. And the motherboard has two 8-pins, which leads to believe that you'll get quite a lot of power draw on your CPU. PCIe 4 is quite the load, is the word on the street. What do you mean? It doesn't need 2 8-pins. No, I mean most motherboards, like my which Crosshair 6 Hero, that's the one, has it's either 2 8-pins or an 8+4, but a standard single 8-pin can deliver, I think, like 300 watts of power, but it's for like extreme overclocking or for like those really high core count chips, and it's also thank you for subscribing, for like load leveling, because while the connector can handle 300 watts, it gets a little bit hot, and so it's beneficial if you're running around about that sort of power to split the load if you can. Thank you, Celeste. I got something about AMD Navi GPUs. So there was a few leaks recently with suggesting that they're going to be launching effectively like the RTX 2060 and 2070 competitors. Yeah, samples. Yeah, like I'd be talking about it if I did. But yeah, so that's the suggestion, and they'll be selling for around RTX 2060 and 2070 pricing, and that's supposedly relatively soon. Although I've heard less about GPUs than I have about CPUs. Like CPUs are definitely like coming and definitely soon, but on the GPU front, I've heard very, very little. I'm gonna get sandals this weekend, can't wait. Alright, Mini Linus. No worries, MD Nasir. No worries. Paul and/or Joseph Chirian. Your question of what's your favorite laptop? Currently, I would say it's the Acer Triton 500. It's an RTX 2060 laptop, and it's generally been the best user experience that I've had. It's a beautiful build quality laptop. The touchpad's nice, the keyboard's nice, the display is lovely. So generally just a very impressive, very nice experience. And you do a collab with Linus Tech Tips. He's a bit bigger than I am, in terms of, viewership and stuff. So unless I had something very, very interesting that I could kind of bring to the table for him, that's not gonna happen. And right now I don't have that, so you canny day that. Out of 100, how excited are you for Zen 2 next week? So one, I can tell you that Zen 2 isn't actually launching next week in terms of like, getting to, in your hands kind of thing. It might be announced next week, although I'm not under NDA for that, so we'll see. But yeah, available July 7th. Okay. Keep up the good videos, TechteamGB. Don't go like Linus. It's more like Top Gear, where he reviews products that everyday people can't afford. True. Very true. Ben asked thoughts on Tfue versus FaZe. So for anyone who missed that, Tfue, who is a very, very, very large streamer and like esports player, is suing the esports organization that he is currently in contract with and has worked for the last, I think, like year or two. What stood out the most to me is there is quite a lot of discrepancy between Tfue's lawsuit says that he's been trapped in this terrible contract, and You know, it's the end of the world. He's losing so much money because FaZe are stealing all his money, kind of thing. And FaZe are saying that they've tried to renegotiate a contract, but it's him and his lawyers that are kind of blocking everything. And that, as Wax had said, FaZe Banks, the owner of FaZe Clan, said that they've only ever made $60,000 from Tfue, from, I think it was like 2 sponsorships that they had provided to Tfue, and so they took a sort of like finder's fee effectively for that. At this point, it's only really, you know, one word against another. It's plausible that Tfue and or his lawyer suggested that he should get out of the contract he is in currently, and this is a almost like a power move to try and break the contract. But I don't think that we have enough information in terms of facts to really have any sort of conclusion. So yeah, who knows? But he has Saul Goodman as a lawyer. Nice. Better call Saul. Hello from Qatar. Hello, how you doing? How's your week been? Hey, are consoles going to use AMD chips in the future? As far as I'm aware, yes. As I understand it, Xbox and Sony and Microsoft are both using a Ryzen or a Zen 2 plus Navi architecture design for the new side. Next gen console dev kit has 32 gig of RAM. Nice. I'm pretty sure that even like the PS3 had something stupid like 32 gig of RAM in the dev kit, because the dev kits are like overpowered as hell, which is kind of funny. Nintendo DS Lite, nice quality. Actually, out of interest, of the 14 people who are watching, how many of you guys have a Nintendo Switch? I'd be very interested to know. Hello, Dave. How you doing? So we got 1 for no, 1 for yes, quite like 1, don't do consoles. Hello, Dave. Not we, not. I read not me, and then I also read your name, Wes, but I only read the first. Like, my brain decided to put my put the first bit of your name in instead of me. Anyway, was going to get 1, but wanted a PS4. A little one wanted a PS4. Nice one. Fair play. Always got to, go with the the requirements. So yeah, fair play. Fair play. I vote roundabout. God damn it. Hello, Emil. I really need your help with some PC struggles. A friend of mine has an old PC with an i7 3770K, GTX 570, MSI Z77 board, and has recently bought an MSI RX 580 Armor OC. Nice. What's up? Hmm. Who has a PS4 here? Not me, actually, for once. I actually don't have any consoles besides an Xbox 360 that doesn't work. Free keyboard from PC World Bins Master Race. What, a Master Racer? What's that? Is that like a skinned version, or what? Like, I know what a Master Keys Pro L is. I've got one on my desk, but huh? Also, who's heard of a Wooting keyboard? The keyboard lights up, but there's no signal or anything. Integrated graphics works, but other than that, we can't get the PC to show up anything. Some said it's power supply since it's old. Which graphics card is in it now? RX 580 or GTX 570? Saeed, do you think an RX 580 would get 40 to 50 FPS on triple 1080p monitors? Are you talking like in a Infinity or a surround setup? Or are you talking about just having triple monitors? 50k first. True. Raul, will you be reviewing the Razer Blade 15? I hope so. It would be Nvidia who would be sending me it. So I will have to find out. And I've been trying to chase them for it. So hopefully I will get one, but I cannot guarantee that. And I also can't guarantee if it's the Blade 15 or the larger one, or even the Stealth. It's the one with the RTX 2060, I think. So that. Maybe on Super Meat Boy. Jeez, it's been a long time since I've used any Affinity setups. So the one thing about Affinity is that, generally speaking, it stretches the edges. So the rendered resolution, even though the game would say that it's 50, whatever that is, like 5.9 something or other, by 1080, the actual resolution that the game engine ends up rendering is more like 2 1080p monitors, because it ends up stretching quite a lot on the side. So I actually think that you might be fine with that. So yeah. What's your review about Endgame? I absolutely loved it. It was a fantastic film. And for someone who has watched all of the Marvel movies, whether directly in cinema or out of cinema, I thought it was a very, very fitting film for the series. I'm sure that there's plenty of plot holes that I could pick in it if I really wanted to, but yeah, it was an enjoyable film for me, for someone who likes the franchise. Oh no, I still haven't seen Endgame. It's all right. I'm done talking about it. See you, Paul. Thanks for joining in. Stock cooler versus separate cooler. So I think I did a video on that actually. The AMD stock cooler is actually pretty impressive. So if you're not overclocking, then it's fine. If you are overclocking, or if you just want a little bit better temperatures and a bit quieter system, because they can be a little on the loud side, then the best sort of stock cooler replacement CPU cooler, if you like, that I've seen so far is the Arctic CSD, the Arctic Freezer 34 Esports Duo. It's like 30 to 35 pounds, dollars, euros, whatever. But it's a very impressive cooler. Comes with 2 fans at the box, and did a very good job at keeping even a Ryzen 2700X cool. So thumbs up. Emil, sorry, did you say what graphics card is in it now? Could be BIOS or drivers that you need to install. You can't get anything to show. Yeah. Which graphics card is in it? Do cooling pads for laptops actually work? Kind of depends. And depends what laptop you have as well, because a lot of them actually like thermally manage themselves and are kind of designed to be at the stupidly hot temperatures that they are. It depends if the built-in fan is struggling or not. Because if it is, then in theory, yes, but otherwise, no, because if the internal fan isn't running 100%, then it's not, you're not really going to help much. The best bet is to lift the laptop off of a desk by a centimeter or so. Yes, very true. Just pour liquid nitrogen inside it. I learned a lot from your videos. Thank you very much. Feel free to keep learning from them. They come out every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so yeah. So that's why I was hoping a 2018 Ryzen 2600 shouldn't overheat in a stock-cooled ITX. Yeah, I think you should be fine, right? The 2600, so the 2600's stock cooler is the Stealth, if I remember rightly, which is pretty small. If you have enough room, I would try and even like eBay a Wraith Spire, because it's a pretty significant amount more actual heatsink material, and does a good bit of a better job. So if you can get one like that, or just like a low profile Noctua one, I can't remember the model numbers from Noctua coolers, but something like that, then that'd be a good check. I would like a mechanical keyboard and a small one without all the extra features I don't use. Thank you, Chris. That's not a small Noctua cooler. UH9S, thank you very much. I've heard many good things about Noctua. They're very good, they're relatively expensive, and they're not very pretty, but they're very effective and relatively quiet as well. WestTI, sorry. Any suggestions? Actually, the Drevo Blademaster, I think, might be a very good shout. There's also the Drevo Caliber, which is a Bluetooth mechanical keyboard. You can still just plug it in and stuff, but yeah. Ben suggests a Magic Force keyboard on Amazon. It's a 60% keyboard. It depends how small you want, because you can go 10 keyless with something like a Cooler Master, Master Keys Pro S, if they even still sell them. But if you go with like if you want really small, like the 60%, then yeah, something like the Drevo Blademaster, the Drevo Caliber, or I think it was called a Poker keyboard. Couldn't go 10 keyless, I know, right? Emil, it didn't get if you answered my question. So I asked what graphics card is in it now. Yeah. I got the An Pro 2 and it's nice. Nice one. I think I want the numpad, but just without all the extra plastic around the keys. Check out the Coolmaster Master Keys Pro L. It's kind of an old keyboard now. I don't know if they're still selling them, but I did a review on it a while ago. It's still the one that's on my desk, and I absolutely love it. It also wasn't hideously expensive. It was around the £100 mark rather than the usual £150, £200. So yeah. Anything put in properly? Everything's put in properly, and the RX 580 spins up. The old graphics card is the 560 Ti Twin Trozer. Right, so is it so that the RX 580 is in it now? Have you tried swapping it for the old graphics card and see if it still boots? In theory, it should still work. What power supply is it? Bro, sometimes. Sometimes I just try and convince them to let me keep it. And yeah. The M has numpad but less keys. Yeah, but that's really weird, and I couldn't work that out. How much difference would a 1600 megahertz GPU clock and an 1800 megahertz clock make in terms of FPS? Well, it's a pretty simple thing. If you're getting 100 FPS at 1600 megahertz, then you would get what's 200 megahertz, which is, I'm not very good at mental maths. You would get like a couple extra FPS. Whatever the percentage difference is, that. extra. Because when you're comparing a 1600 megahertz GPU to the same GPU but running at 1800 megahertz, the only variable is the clock speed, and so you normally get just the more, like, whatever percentage you increase the clock speed is what you get with the thing. We tried to do that and said the OC values are reset and reset the default, and the OC failed. Right. So what? So have you tried running it entirely stock? Here's a suggestion: take the CMOS battery, the little cell coin battery, out of the motherboard. Turn off the power supply, but leave it connected to the wall. So like flick the switch on the back of the power supply, or flick the switch on the wall if you have one. I know that not many places have a switch on the wall to turn the plug off, but either way. Worst case, just pull the plug out the back of the power plug out. Once the CMOS battery is out, hold the power button down for like 10 seconds, then put the CMOS battery back in, put the power cable back in or turn it back on, try and start it. It will probably tell you that the BIOS has been reset or that it needs work in some fashion. Just try and get into the BIOS and see if it works. Hello Joe, how you doing? Saeed, is it easy to build a PC for the first time? Generally speaking, yes. It's really pretty simple. I guarantee you that you will run into some issues when you do it. There is always kind of hiccups, and it's always kind of scary the first time you go at it, but it is pretty simple, as long as you take your time and you're careful with what you're doing and not making any kind of the big obvious mistakes, like putting the CPU the wrong way around. There's normally a big gold triangle on one of the corners, and then you line that up with the triangle that's on either the socket, the cover, or the motherboard itself, and put it in that way. But other than that, as long as you connect all your power connectors and you connect your HDMI to your graphics card and not to your motherboard's outputs if it has any, then generally speaking, you're good. I'm good, thank you. You looking well today? Sort of. The last week, I've been in just insane levels of pain, and I've been on tramadol every day, which is quite rare for me. So. Yeah. Warrior Tramadol, indeed. I'm Nasir. I'm not quite sure what your message is, but I think thank you. With the new card or the old 560? Either. Ideally, you would eliminate all variables and put the old card back in first, make it work with that, and then swap out the graphics card, because then you can rule out that your overclock has just failed or whatever else. Get it working first, everything default, everything as it was, and then once it's working, then try swapping out the graphics card, and then once you swap out the graphics card, then you can go back, once it's working with that, then you can go back and overclock again and make that work and stable. That's no good. Tramadol didn't get on Kerry at all, made her hallucinate vividly and have panic attacks. That's not fantastic. Ow, my foot. Pins and needles. Yeah, that's no good. I don't have any side effects beyond perking up a little bit, ironically, because it's an opioid. But yeah, I don't, as far as I'm aware, I don't hallucinate anyway. Yeah. Probably close my curtains and put the lights on. Oh, there's only 10 minutes left. Why not? But I don't think he had an OC, but the MSI RX is OC from the factory, so we thought it would be that. No, if your motherboard tells you that if your motherboard tells you that your OC failed, it's it is a CPU or a RAM overclock. Your BIOS has nothing to do with your graphics card's overclock. See you, tough please. Catch you later. Enjoy your nap. You're not streaming, it's all in your head. I'd be a very vivid hallucination then. And I don't know why I wouldn't make up that I had 1 million viewers or something stupid rather than 15. Hey, don't get Starman started. Is there a huge difference from SSD from hard drive to SSD to NVMe for games loading up and boot times? Yes. So there's not much of a difference between an SSD and an NVMe SSD, or like a SATA SSD to an NVMe SSD. But from hard drive to SSD is a pretty big difference. Don't know why it showed up that message then, because we didn't overclock anything. So that's also a pretty common just default message when the BIOS gets reset, or when it fails to start a number of times. It will basically just assume that because it failed to start, you failed an overclock or something. A suggestion for the CMOS battery is turn off the power supply. Take the little cell coin battery that's normally about in the middle of the motherboard, so maybe slightly below middle. Take that out, turn off the power supply, hold the power button down for 10 seconds or so, then put the battery back in, turn the PC back on, and then press the power button and see if it boots into the BIOS from there. Anything you're interested to see or hear about Computex this year? So the new Ryzen chips are supposedly going to be announced, which would be very interesting. Thank you very much, Wapted. Nice inspect element. Do you need to take? Do you need anything to take the battery out? No, it's normally just a little clip that you just pull back, and the battery will pop out. I hope you'll do a video soon of all the 3rd gen Ryzen chips comparison. I hope so too. Whenever they are available, and if I get samples. Dave, very keen to see those announced. I am as well. Yeah, it should be very interesting to see. I'll actually be quite interested to see what the X570 boards bring to the table. If there's any, you know, like for the higher end ones, maybe more of them come with something like 10 gig Ethernet. That'd be quite cool to see. If you don't get samples, oof, I know, right? I'm hoping so. I tend to, if nothing else, sell a fair few of them through my Amazon affiliate links, so I'll sponsor an Athlon for you. Thank you very much, Wapted. Very kind. I can't wait for October when there'll hopefully be no Ryzen 3000, so other things can be discussed. Oh, one day. One day. Best motherboard for Ryzen 5 X version? Any B450 board, really. In fact, actually, not just because they're paying me to say it in a few videos, but ASRock actually have a it's called the B450 Steel Legend. And it's actually a very nice board. The VRMs did a very good job at keeping even a Ryzen 2700X at bay, so 2600X should be plenty fine, or even 3600X should be plenty fine. And yeah, I would actually genuinely recommend it. It's a good price point. It's got a good amount of features. No Wi-Fi, sadly, but plenty of I/O, of you know, everything that you'd expect. So yeah. In theory, yes, they haven't officially said that, but yeah. Is there any risk in doing the CMOS thing? Nope. As long as you turn the power off and when you take it out, yeah, all good. All it does is just turn off power to your BIOS chip, which means that you lose all of your settings, basically. But other than that, no. Probably already been asked and discussed, but what was your take on the whole Huawei Trump saga? Yes, we did. It was a bit earlier on the stream, but long story short is that I kind of just feel bad for everyone who owns a Huawei phone right now. I have a few friends that own them, yeah. But it's I don't know enough, and what's interesting is that no one seems to have provided any proof that any like. So the U.S. administration doesn't seem to have provided any evidence to suggest that they are a national security threat. And while I appreciate that they maybe don't want outside influences in their 5G networks or whatever, I don't understand why that they would need to be outright banned from operating with thingies. But when you think about all of the different companies, I mean, ARM indeed. Well, so obviously ARM are only in a like design house basically, so they license their stuff to Huawei, but not they don't sell anything. What will Huawei do for mobile SoCs? I genuinely don't know, because they high silicon mixed chips. Yes, but the Kirin 980 chip is a what you call it? An ARM designed chip, and Huawei pays ARM to license their architecture and instruction sets. So yeah. Ish. In theory, yes. Telesto, I would agree. You should probably RMA that, or at very least just try and dust out your S key. You can still root the future Huawei devices and run custom kernels. Yes, I mean it'd be handy if I was saying Lineage OS would have a good support for the Huawei like P30 Pro and stuff like that. And if there was free bootloader unlocking tools. Does the Steel Legend motherboard support 3rd gen Ryzen chips? As I said, it should. They haven't officially confirmed it, but I think it's already had a BIOS update to support the new chips. So yes. Actually, very true-ish. Yeah. You can't go and need help figuring this out. What does the power button help with clearing? It makes sure that there's no electricity left in the circuit, and that the chip has definitely turned off. And then when you put the coin cell battery back in, it then powers itself back up again. But technically speaking, you don't need to push the power button when it's off. It just helps confirm that the chip is off or has expunged all of its electricity. They can't sell devices in the EU at all then. Better use Banggood or AliExpress. True. Wattage requirement for a 1660 Ti. So like 450 watts, I think. If you want to be safe, 550, but 450 watt power supply should be fine as long as it's a 80 plus bronze or higher. Yeah. We tried it with the new card first. That didn't work. Still no signal, but fans and GPU spin. Right. Have you tried it with the old card? Gotta go, but TY, it was great to see you live. I'm checking out your back catalogue. Thank you very much. These live streams are every Thursday night at 8 PM UK time, so if you want to tune in again and chat next week, then feel free to do so. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoy the videos. My next phone doesn't exist yet. Not gonna upgrade for a while. Yeah, I mean that's kind of fair play. It's funny. I've been playing with this the Xiaomi Black Shark 2. And what's most interesting to me is that this has the vast majority of all of the features that the new flagship phones have, right? The fingerprint scanner in the phone, or in the screen rather. The whole kind of like, let me actually unlock it. The whole kind of bezel-less display kind of thing. There is a bit of a chin at the top, but it's a 19.5 by 10 or by 9 aspect ratio. You know, what we do if the old card works. So if you can update the BIOS, that would probably be a good start. So yeah. Other than that, I'm not too sure if the old card works. Then I don't know, because you're not getting to the BIOS with that, which is the key point. So it's not Windows, it's the board itself. Perhaps try a different PCIe slot, because the Z77 boards did have a couple of X16 slots, I think. So try a different PCIe slot as well. But yeah, so I was saying, what's interesting to me is that this has all of the features. It has dual rear cameras. It has a like 12 megapixel front facing camera, because apparently that's necessary. 8 gig of RAM, the new Snapdragon 855 liquid cooled. But I barely notice a difference between this and this in terms of user experience. And I appreciate that this being a OnePlus 3T, it's got 6 gigs of RAM and it had a reasonably high-end CPU for the time. So, it's semi-flagship, but it is like 3-4 years old now, whereas this one is a brand new phone. But I don't care about this. Like, this doesn't excite me when I use it in terms of, oh, this is really interesting. I want to switch to this phone. I already have this. I didn't even have to go pay for it, and I still am like, okay. But I still probably won't switch to it. And that says a lot. So, yeah. Anyway, that is pretty much it. Hello, Big Pixel. How you doing? How's your health? Feel free to let me know on Twitter, because I'm going to run away. But yeah, Emil, feel free to check out the Discord and the tech support chat if you haven't already. I don't know. Yeah, feel free to check out the Discord if you want more support throughout the evening. But yeah, that's pretty much that. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. As always, videos now, tomorrow night, Monday, Wednesday, and then live stream next week. So yeah, other than that, I'll catch you later. See you guys.